Our relationships are the most rewarding part of our lives, but they're also the trickiest. And many people want to know how to be more understanding of others because this improves all of our relationships and really just makes our lives more happy. I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I am a relationship and parenting expert. And today we're going to talk about bringing more understanding into your relationships. In this video, we're going to talk about what happens when somebody doesn't feel understood and how to make a plan so that we can understand other people better and we can all be more understood and a whole lot more. Every one of us needs someone to understand us. And when we don't feel understood, sometimes we do some kind of irrational things. Think to yourself, what do you do when you feel like somebody doesn't understand you? Do you kind of pout a little bit? Do you withdraw and stop talking to people as much? Stop sharing as much of your information? Do you sometimes start attacking that person, maybe to them, maybe behind their back? Do you use them as an excuse for your own bad behavior? Do you try to control a situation because you feel out of control because nobody cares about you? These are just some of the things that people do when they don't feel understood. When a child doesn't feel understood, they whine, they complain. When a teen doesn't feel understood, they get an attitude problem. Okay, sometimes the children get attitude problems before they're teens, but this all comes from feeling not understood. What do you do with all of your loved ones, extended family or immediate family, when you don't feel like they care about your views or they care about taking the time to understand you? You really should probably pause this video for a second and just write that down. It's super eye-opening to see why we do the things that we do. I hope you took a brief second to write down what you do when you don't feel understood, because this is going to help you be able to identify when somebody doesn't feel understood by you. I teach something called self-government, which means that I understand cause and effect, and I understand and analyze my own behaviors. And then I make plans according to what results I want to get. So I say to myself, this is the type of person I ought to be, and these are the results I would like to get. This is going to be my plan for how I become that person. And then time and time again, I evaluate how I'm doing at becoming the person I feel I ought to be and what adjustments I need to make in my plan. So making a plan is a self-governed thing to do. So how do you plan to understand another person? You definitely can do that. And it starts with analyzing how you see the other person. Do you value that person? Do you see their potential? Or are you only seeing that person through the lens of what you get out of them? What you want them to do? How they can make your life more convenient and less of a burden? If you are looking at that other person through the lens of what they do to your life or what you want them to do for your life, then you are not valuing the person. You are valuing yourself. There's a big distinction there, because if you're only valuing yourself, then any communication that you have, whether they're telling you something or you're telling them something, will feel to them like you're controlling them and will feel disconnected. So in order to connect to another person enough to help them feel understood, you have to value who they are and their potential. Another thing that we can do to really trust in their potential is to see the good things. Instead of looking for all the bad things in other people, let's look for the good things. When we see, oh, maybe they're telling you about a problem right now, maybe it's even a problem they have with you, but they're looking at you and they're looking like they trust you and that they care about you, that's a good thing. You can see that. Hold on to that. Another thing that we can do to make sure that we see the goodness in another person is we can look in their eyes. Looking in somebody's eyes shows them that you're not afraid to be honest with them. Have you ever noticed that people who won't look at you are the ones who are trying to have an attitude problem, stay distant from you? They're like, yeah, because they won't look right at you. Honest people can look right at you. They can allow you to see inside of them and see the goodness that's there. And when you go looking in somebody else's eyes, you'll see the goodness that's in them too. Another thing that we need to do is listen. Really listen. I think sometimes we say, okay, say the words to me, but I'm going to do something else. I'm going to do my dishes. I'm going to put these things away. And we think we're listening because we're so worried about getting everything done on our list. But that's not really listening. When you really listen, you slow down and you look at the person and you don't think about anything you want to say or anything you want to do during that time. You just think of their words. Try that. Try that today. Somebody's telling you something. Don't think about what you want to say back. Tell yourself, if you start thinking about what you want to say back, say, don't even think about that. Think of what they're saying. Think of what they're saying. Instruct yourself to do that. And as you do that and you can patiently listen to what they have to say, they'll feel so comfortable with you. I know some people, kind of like me actually, are uncomfortable with silence in conversation because I'm an extroverted person. But most people actually take it as a sign that you really listened and pondered what they had to say. Understanding people means that we're going to have questions. If we're really listening, then we should also be able to form questions about the topic that they're talking about. So think of questions that you can ask that would be meaningful to them. And another thing that we want to not do is don't give advice too quickly. So sometimes even after we've listened and asked questions and taken the time, we have advice popping into our minds. It's good to ask yourself, is now a good time to give advice, or do they still have more to share? I've made this mistake too many times when I think, okay, let's cut to the chase. Here's the solution to your problem. And it may be the solution to their problem. But you know what? They would actually like to tell the whole problem first. Many people want to tell the whole problem first. And you know what? That takes time. And it's hard to do, especially when you're a person who has a lot going on. I totally understand. In fact, just the other day, I was talking to somebody and I was having a really great conversation with them and they were telling me things and they kind of were going on and on for a little while about their child. And then I just thought, okay, well, this is what they need. And I just told them. And the second I told them, I went, oh no, I just messed that up. Because they just wanted to tell me. They weren't exactly ready yet for my advice. And had I let them tell a little bit more, they might have taken the advice. Now, to their credit, sweet, sweet people, they did take the advice and they're like, whoa, I want even more advice. But I knew that I had done it too quickly. So just remember that. We all have advice we can give, but timing matters. All of us learn. No matter what, every day, whether we're actively thinking we're learning or not, we do learn. We gather information, we learn from each other. We need to trust in the learning process. So as we're listening to somebody and understanding somebody else, let's trust that they don't have to make all the progress we want them to make right then. Let's trust in the learning process. Let's know that things take time. And so they might have to learn little bit by little bit, line upon line, principle upon principle. But they absolutely can do that. As they're learning and making bumps along the way, we need to be patient. And we need to give them the benefit of the doubt. That's probably one of the biggest things we could do. If we're always giving somebody the benefit of the doubt, then they feel not judged. We don't want them to feel judged. We want them to feel that we understand, that we care, and we can help them the most and give them the best instructions that they really will listen to and follow through with. If they feel like we've given them the benefit of the doubt, that they've done the best they could with the information they had in the minute, now we just help them get more information and more skills that they need. Speaking of skills, if you've loved this video, I think you're really going to enjoy the next video, which is called How to Help an Angry Child Calm Down. Click that video there. You'll get a lot more skills to help with your understanding and to help them understand you.